2013, and we're interviewing Reba Turner. Reba, let's just start off with telling us, now I know this is going to tell your age, but I'd like to know when you were born.
I was born 11/29/19.
1919.
So I'm 93 years young. And I'm young at heart.
And you were born, you were telling me earlier, you were born in an old two-story house, just...
No, two
Two-room.
Two-room house. Oh.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a lot longer, a far distance from two-story. Two-room house, just to the west of where we're sitting now. And you've lived in this house since?
89.
1989. And your dad built this house when?
The original, yes, in 1924.
And let's talk about your parents.
Okay.
Say who they were.
My mother was a Womack, Nellie Ann Womack. And my daddy was the son of John and Sally Yandel.
And your dad was Clyde Yandel.
And my daddy was Clyde, or C.M. Yandel.
And you were the only child in that family?
Only child they had.
But you weren't spoiled?
No, I wasn't. Of course not.
But you lived all of your childhood in this home with your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Now you said your mother was a Womack. Now we have Womack Mill right across the road over here. How was she related to?
I don't think.
Just a distant relative.
Way down the line somewhere.
The Womacks were some of
all.
the earliest settlers in this region.
Mm-hmm.
Womacks and Merles, and you might...
My granddad was John Willis Womack.
Okay. And do you remember where he lived?
Yes, he lived over there where Evelyn Shepherd lived.
That's what I thought.
That's where he lived. And grew up, his family had 8 children.
He was a farmer,
Mm-hmm.
and your dad was what'd he do for a living?
He was a blacksmith and a carpenter, or woodwork of any kind.
And he did that because his father taught him how to be a blacksmith.
Right.
And his father moved into this country, into this part of the country. When do you suppose?
He was born down by close to Tin Town. At that time it was named called Klondike.
Okay.
And I have no idea when they moved out there, but they lived out there when Daddy and Mother were married.
And probably...
and he had a blacksmith shop out there.
Yeah. I've got a picture over here. I'm going to get of that. And his name was John Yandel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm going to try to think about... I know George Graham said he remembered when your dad moved here, because your dad was one of George Graham's best friends.
Oh, is that
And
right?
I think George was living with his mother over there.
Oh, yeah.
and he remembered when your dad moved with his parents over where
Lindell High.
Lindell farm is. Lindell sold that now. I think his son is gonna bought that or some way there.
Steve's bought.
Well, let's go into your earliest memories. Before school, probably. Before you started school in what year?
Well, I started school when I was 5, so that'd been
1924.
20, yeah. And my first school, I went to school up here in the house back of us. And why we had school there, I don't know, but that's where I went. I walked through. Daddy fixed a gate there, and I walked through that gate and went to school, and I come home for lunch every day. And then my 3rd year, we went to the old school, which burned. And I've seen
Yeah, go ahead.
I've seen 2 schools burn. And the first day it was cold, and the first day in the school, it was a big 2-story building, and they had a great big, in the center of the school, they had a big stove, and the pipe went up and onto the west wall. and they had a flue fire, and they got it put out.
Yeah.
Well, it rekindled the next day and got out of control. And we all marched out and stood along the edge of the schoolyard and watched it burn.
Oh my goodness.
And then we come back to the down here and finished till we went. And then by that
And the
time,
little house right across from here?
well, the little house back of here, where
It's the same house that's still there?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one that,
Tracy Sutherland.
okay. So you
And-
started school there, your school burned, and then you came back from that school to this little building.
Yeah.
And I know they had some school in some of the churches then too, some of the classes in the churches.
And then, of course, when we started the next school year, we started in the new school, big time.
Oh, it was a big new school.
Oh, you bet.
The rock
Toilets in the
school.
school and all of that.
Toilets inside? Woo! Were you scared of an inside toilet, or did your dad have one here?
No, we
Did you
had,
have
we had
outhouse?
the bathroom, but no, we had a John sitting out
Okay.
there.
The bathroom was for baths only.
Yeah. Back then we didn't have running water, only you run to get it.
Okay. So you had a well out here.
Yeah, a well, there was a well here. Where that hallway is, just right there at the end of them steps was where they got their water at that time.
Okay.
Of course, the pump's not there anymore. And then let's see.
Did you have a favorite grade school teacher?
Favorite teacher? Well, I don't
They were all your were they any mean teachers in those days, or were they all pleasant?
Well, it depended on the student.
I know Ray Thomas told me a few things about his
Well,
experiences at
well,
school, so
well,
he had maybe
well,
had.
my class was letter perfect.
Oh, how,
We had no bad problems.
how many children were in your grade school class? Just
Oh,
less than 10?
you mean in the whole
Well,
school
just
or district
In your
grade?
class.
Just in your
grade.
class?
Well, not very many because there was only 21 when I graduated.
Okay.
But anyway, one funny incident I remember, and you probably remember Darrell Wiseman.
Yeah.
Well, this was in my 7th year. We had a class next to the furnace room, and of course we had the chairs with the arms, you know, like. And Darrell was sitting with with his back up against the wall, and then we had a boy named Junior Cathy, and he chewed a big paper wad. It was about this big around.
That's big enough.
And she was Mary Perkle was the name of the teacher.
Okay.
And she was writing something on the blackboard, and he took that paper wad and throwed it at Darrell. And needless to say, it landed on the wall and left a wet spot about this big. And of course, we just all died laughing, and we straightened up real quick. Well, she wanted to know what was going on. Nobody said nothing.
Yeah. You never ratted him out?
Huh?
You never told on him?
Oh, we were good. I think we had 3 different teachers that year. I can't remember. One of them was Mary Perkle, one of them was, the other was, they were sisters. Anyway,
Sisters.
we had.
There were some sisters that taught out at Hickory Barron School, I remember.
Oh, no, Richard.
It wasn't them.
Anyway,
Can't
they were
remember the
from
name of it.
Springfield.
Well, I know church was a big thing in your life. And you went to what church when you were
I went to both churches.
the Baptist church up here on the hill.
First Hill and the Methodist church. I played piano at both churches. At that time, we had what they called halftime preaching.
Okay.
First and third was one, and second and fourth was the other. And I'd go to both, and I'd play the piano at both.
Well, who taught you how to play a piano?
My music teacher was Eufy Klinger and Viola Tran. And I only had 36 lessons.
Did you go to their house? Did you have a piano here?
I had a piano.
You don't now?
Not that one, no.
You still have a piano?
Oh, yes.
Well, I know you played piano up until 5 years ago in church.
I played piano at church until I lost my eyesight, my tunnel vision. And I can't see to read music anymore.
And you had some recordings made before you
Yes, I had a
quit
CD.
playing.
I have a CD made.
And you gave that to your children for Christmas. And I know they cared about that. And I know just last
And I
year.
sold several of them too.
Oh, is that right? See there? You haven't quit making your living. Well,